Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're looking at a couple Karambits. Karambits are fun, aren't they? This is one of those knife designs I just keep going back to all the time. I might do a video on my little Karambit collection. It's not much, but I do have a few of them. Some cool ones, some old school ones, some new ones. But I've just been such a huge fan of the design for so long because they're just friggin' awesome. It's just really, really neat. So anyway, these are Kooby model batons. These are called the Mini Rats. And there are a ton of different color variants and combinations and stuff. There's the JG10, I think there's a red one. We have a white one, white G10 with the black blade, which I'll talk about in a second here. That's actually the one I decided to carry. Even though this makes more sense to carry, just the standard, you know, like satiny stonewash kind of combo with the black G10. I just wanted to do something different, so I ended up carrying this one. However, when I carry this one, the back of the white G10, let me zoom in here for you. You can see it already got dirty. And I think this is just some oil, just from opening and closing it and carrying it and stuff. I think the factory lubricant that was in the pivot area just kind of oozed out a little bit, but I tried wiping that down with a warm, wet rag, and it didn't really do much at all. So I don't know if that's stained or what. Maybe I can get it out with something, but just a fair warning, if you go with something like white, expect that, of course. But I thought it was just a cool combo, just something different. So this particular knife sells for about 80 bucks, give or take, just depends on what dealer you go through. They, like I said, they have a ton of different variants on this, but they all have a 2.4-inch flat ground blade, which is made up of 14C28N. It's a Sandvik steel. If you're not familiar with it, it is very similar in its properties to like VG10, but it's easier to sharpen. It actually has very good wear resistance and edge holding capability. These things did come super, super sharp, and of course with the Hawkbill style blade, it just ruins whatever you're trying to cut. And what I mean by that is it just bites deep. The whole idea behind a Hawkbill is as you're cutting into something, the material is forced into this, heavy, heavy curve. It's also fantastic for, a knife that you want a very pointy or acute tip, okay? Because these generally, across the board, have a very thin, pointy tip. So if you want to, use it to rip open boxes or whatever, or something, again, like self-defense, which a lot of people, I think, gravitate towards because they're just kind of cool. The thing with reverse grip knives, like a Karambit, in self-defense is I personally feel like you just need some training. I mean, anyone could, get someone off them with this. If you were serious about it and really kind of swinging around, cutting someone up, obviously they're probably going to stop doing whatever they're doing unless they're severely on drugs or mental or both. But it's not as natural. If you have a straight blade, naturally people holding a reverse grip stabbing, or if you're holding it in a forward grip, slashing, it's just it's slashing and stabbing. Now, of course, you could stab with a Hawkbill style blade, but you probably won't. It's probably something, again, if you're holding it in a reverse grip like this, you're going to be doing this and slashing and stuff, and maybe like an upward slash where you kind of stab a little, but it's not a natural thing. I really think it's something, that needs some training, and or at least reading a couple books, watching some videos, getting an idea of some techniques as far as, how to use this in a self-defense manner. Although, again, anything with a sharp edge that hurts someone, they'll, probably stop what they're doing. But hopefully that's before, they accomplish whatever goal they were, set out to do in the first place, right? Which is harm you. Yeah, I mean, these are fantastic knives. 4.2 ounces. They're 6.8 inches overall from butt end to tip. All right, so the Karambit, again, if you don't know, they have, a ring. I know most people know this stuff, but some people are new to knives all the time. So there's a ring here, and the idea is they're mainly designed for a reverse grip. Now this does have, full finger choil, so every finger has a spot. Pinky lands in here, ring finger, middle finger, and then the pointer finger goes to the ring. And again, your thumb just kind of rests on top. There is jimping all throughout, the back of the knife, all the way around the ring. So anywhere your thumb lands, you have a good grip. And again, the idea behind having your, finger through the knife itself is that even if you lose your grip, you don't necessarily lose the knife because your finger's wrapped around there. You'd have to have your finger cut off, broken severely or something to get this out of your hand, right? You could still very effectively use this in a forward grip. Now, this particular design, my pinky still fits very comfortably. You see my fingers do line up here, all right? So some Karambits, when I'm in the forward grip, the pinky just doesn't line up right. This one feels good. It's a little small for my hands. I got some chunky fingers, so, you know, it doesn't land exactly where it's supposed to, but it's comfortable enough to use. Now this has a optional, which you can see here is removable, with a little torque screw, is a wave feature. All right, so, you know, this comes with a pocket clip, which is reversible. This actually has a really nice plate on it. All right, so obviously if you don't have the pocket clip on one side, you can use this plate. It just kind of fills in the gap so it's not sharp G10. Just really well done. I mean, for 80 bucks, it's a nice little touch. But the pocket clip is orientated for right side tip up carry. So if you put your finger through the ring and pull up, the idea is that this catches on your pocket, and as you're pulling out, you know, it waves open. So it will open up as you're pulling the knife out of your pocket. If you don't like that, you can remove it. This has a ton of ways to open it. In the forward grip, we have, you know, an actual slot that's cut out of the handle. All right, so you can use your thumb to open it that way. That's number one. Number two is you can catch your thumb on the removable piece, all right, the wave feature. That's number two. This is purposely hooked up and pointed, and that's really for a non-lethal, you know, Kubotan style thing, where if you really slam this into someone, it does come to a point, so all that energy is focused on that little metal point. That could break bone, you know, shatter bone, hit kneecaps, elbows, you know, sternum, things like that. It would be pretty nasty. Skull. So, you know, all the nasty good stuff you learn about in self-defense. But that can also be used with the thumb. All right, so if you wanted to remove this piece, you can, again, use your thumb on the opening hole or just on top, and you can just rock that open. All right, and then also, if you notice, there is a flipper tab on here, so you can use the flipper. All right, so in a forward grip, which is what you're probably going to use if you're actually using this knife for utility work and not for self-defense, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different opening mechanisms, all right, which is pretty amazing. Again, in the reverse grip, you basically have the wave feature, or you can just manually open it up. All right, just really, really neat design, though. It's just very intimidating looking. You know, it's a nasty looking knife in a good way. You know, scary looking knives are just fun for some reason. They're just cool. You know, I'll always be, you know, a 13-year-old kid when I look at knives, and sometimes the scary ones are the coolest ones. It's just a neat design, but it's actually really functional. All right, you don't have to use it for self-defense, even though it's crazy looking. This is very, very effective. Very good, nice, sharp hawkbill blade. Just gets the job done. So, I mean, for 80 bucks, under $100, I think it's fantastic. And like I said, tons and tons of different flavors, you know, different color combinations and stuff, whatever floats your boat. So I just wanted to share that with you. Absolutely love them. The white one, I think I might continue to use it now that it's kind of stained here. Hopefully I can get that out. But the white G10, I mean, it just looked badass, but I just knew it wouldn't last looking brilliant white. Eventually you get dirty, even just the oils in your hand throughout the day or whatever, you know, maybe spill something on it, stain those scales. But, you know, like I said, there's a ton of them. If you don't like the white, not a big deal. I generally don't like black coated stuff because they scratch up and wear easily, but this one's actually held up pretty well. I didn't have a ton of cutting on this, but I definitely got some use out of it so far, so I'm happy with that. But anyway, there you go. That is the Kooby Mini Wrath. Nice boxes. The boxes are all white here, as you can see. So you get a generic box, but then you also get the cover there, or the sleeve rather, for all the people who like to buy their knives and throw them in a safe and never, you know, actually use them or anything. You got the nice, beautiful cleaning cloth in there. All right, little paperwork. Right, you got the foam. So you put your knife in there, and then the sleeve goes on top. The actual sleeve itself does have, you know, the information on the model. So these are KU26As. This one again is black G10. The other one here is the white. All right, so this is a KU2621. So obviously each color variant will have, you know, different model numbers there. But anyway, that's all. Just want to share that with you. Let me know down in the comment section if you carry a Karambit. And if so, is that your main blade, or do you just carry one for self-defense, like a backup? I've done both. I've carried as my main blade. I've carried it literally just not used at all, so it's ready to go for action. For really a retention knife, I would carry it on my left side. So God forbid, something's happening, I'm grappling, I have to get to my firearm, someone's holding the firearm. The idea is you pull it out of your, you know, pocket with your offhand here, and of course you can wave that open, and then use this to, you know, get the person off you so you can draw your firearm. But anyway, that's it. Love Karambits. I really do. They're just cool. I think they'll always be cool. But anyway, that's all. Let me know if you dig them down in the comment section. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.